People who have contracted and recovered from the virus that shall not be named, how has your life and health been like since your recovery? I, 34 female, otherwise healthy, caught the virus 3 weeks ago. It was hell. To be honest, 103 to 104 degrees fever for 6 days, terrible cough, had trouble breathing, no pneumonia though, thank God for that. Got an ear infection in the second week. I caught some vicious stomach bug and I legit thought that I was going to die because my body was so exhausted because of the vomiting, not being able to eat at all, and being so sick the week before I fainted. Got extreme chills that made me unable to even hold things because I was shaking so much. Had to go to the emergency room for a night, and when I got home I finally started to feel better. They were unsure if the vomiting was because if the virus or something unrelated. Been symptom free for 4 days now, and my doctor cleared me for work on Monday. I actually feel completely fine now. A bit tired after everything, but nothing worse than that. Edit. Since this blew up when I was asleep, I'm going to answer some of the frequently asked questions here. My lungs are fine. As others in the thread have pointed out, the risks for permanent damage is higher if you get pneumonia, and I didn't. I breathe just fine and are back to normal. It has been 2 weeks since I had a fever, cough, and ear trouble. When I said that I was symptom free for 4 days, I meant from the stomach problems. And symptom free includes getting my full appetite back and no signs whatsoever of anything. My doctor tested me earlier this week and he told me that I was cleared for work, so I trust him. Yes, I tested positive. I live in Sweden. I currently have it. I feel kind of groggy. The cough is stopping me from sleeping, but I think the worst is that I can't get medicine to soothe my symptoms because everyone is hoarding them, as well as that I'm worried about groceries and stuff because I have to take at least 2 weeks off work and getting my student work done at the same time while feeling like crap. Update. Because I've heard many people DMing me and asking what the symptoms are, I'll give my current situation. Day 1. Headaches. Day 2. Headaches. Sinuses start hurting. Cough appears and cold symptoms start appearing. Coughing produce no phlegm. Like a chesty cough that rattles in your ribcage and throat. Day 3. All of the above and chest feels very tight. It's hard to breathe and I feel very weak. Appetite has completely disappeared. Day 4. Currently, throat is starting to feel scratchy, very lethargic and sleepy. Appetite has completely gone. Headaches come and go. Very sensitive to light. 40 W/barely high blood pressure. It was super mild for me. I had a bit of a cough one day and the next had a 99 fever and regular coughing. Took just regular cold and flu pills and felt fine. Next 2 mornings I woke up with 102 and 101 fevers before pills. Combo of Mucinex and cold and flu pills kept it pretty under control. After that no more fever, but still some coughing and phlegm, but super mild compared to any other time I've been sick with lung crud. If it wasn't all over the news I wouldn't have known it was anything bad. For the record though, I have a pretty rad immune system. We were over in Afghanistan and went black on food and water for a few days, ran out. We ended up drinking Afghan ditch water. Everyone else got the craps. I didn't. Not sure where I got it. I flew the LaGuardia and Syracuse about 5 days before I got sick, but also a few coworkers tested positive days after coming back from Italy around the same time. Edit. Yet they tested me cause the Italy people. I'm positive. 30 male, good health, maybe a few pounds to heavy non-smoker. So 2 weeks before all this started to become big news, my building with about 20 apartments was starting to replace all the pipes and rebuilding the bathrooms in every apartment at the same time. They installed a temporary building outside with 8 bathrooms that everyone would share for 6 weeks. Yippee. 2 weeks later all these reports about people getting infected is everywhere as I'm reading them on a toilet, shared with who knows how many people, at a few days, and I'm starting to feel sick. To my knowledge a few families got sick around the same time frame as me, and we all contacted our landlord, so they had to do a complete clean out of the bathrooms plus they added another building, so every apartment had their own bathroom, to avoid spreading it even more. Thank God. This was before any tests was done, but the media around the virus was so big that they didn't want to take any chances. They also doubled the amount of cleaning that is done daily, so I'm really impressed. Happy to see that money isn't everything sometimes. The sickness didn't feel more than a really bad cold. The coughing the first days was the worst. Thankfully it gave away pretty quick, 2 to 3 days, and was pretty minor after that. The fever was coming and going under the whole week, but I remember Sunday on day 4 to 5 being the absolute crazy one. Was up to almost 39 deg point C, 102 deg point F, and probably slept for 20 to 24 hours that day. Had some weird feeling hot and cold at the same time, and getting goosebumps all over my body moments all the time. Was like a super cold wave traveled through my body from head to feet. Took me about a week to feel fine from the day I took the test, so in total around 9 days from the first symptom to 100% fine. Now, 3 to 4 days after, still staying away from people as much as I can. The only thing is that I'm breathing a bit heavier and can get the feeling that I don't really get enough air as normal, but nothing serious. Counting on this being gone pretty soon as well. I will say this, if I didn't know about COVID-19, I wouldn't think it was anything more than the regular flu. My husband is in the recovery stage now. He never got tested because he kept being told without a confirmed positive as a close contact, he would have to wait. At this point, we've been treating it as if we all have it. He's a male in his 30s, no terrible conditions, but a history of asthma, really strong seasonal allergies and a tendency to get bronchitis. It started off last Friday with a scratchy throat. Very quickly over the weekend, progressed to a fever with chills, a deep cough and shortness of breath. He was very much out of it from Sunday to about halfway to Tuesday. He developed an extremely painful ear infection on Tuesday night right as the coughing started to subside a little. His throat was very sore, and I had to make a fast trip to the pharmacy yesterday for numbing spray. Edit. Since I've been asked in replies and PM, here is the timeline. March 9th to 13th possible exposure, potentially multiple times in a workplace environment. March 13th scratchy throat, mild cough, said coughing felt different, aching joints. March 14th, headache, mild fever, worsening dry cough. March 15th to 17, bad headache, moderate fever, deep dry cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, joint pain. March 17th, headache subsided, fever was milder, cough still present, shortness of breath still present, still fatigued. Ear infection presented in the evening, and he was feeling pretty sore when moving around. March 18th, symptoms slowly subsiding, sore throat from coughing, still fatigued, better mobility without as much pain. March 19th to present, symptoms continued to subside, some coughing, sore throat, hoarseness, still somewhat fatigued. Progressively, he's been getting better and was able to make a conference call with his work colleagues. Still a slight cough. His boss has the same symptoms and is in his 50s. They are considered essential staff. Their company cleared their department, had the one person on site work elsewhere, and sanitized the workspace top to bottom. They are planning to rotate in weekly teams of 2 once the boss and my husband are off self-quarantine. We sat outside in the sun and that helped. He rested a lot and had a lot of fluids. We've been together 2 decades and I've never seen him that sick for that long. I deep cleaned and disinfected a lot, and he mainly stayed in bed to keep his distance. I slept on the couch. Usually his immune system kicks things square in the ass. The co-worker who was on site had a kid with influenza A few weeks ago, so they didn't think much of it when he was in the office coughing for a week straight. My whole house has it. My brother was confirmed this morning, and we've clearly all been exposed. Let's see, for me it's mostly the body itches and fatigue. Not much of a fever. I had some coughing a few days ago, but that's subsided. A ton of phlegm actually, which is why I'm coughing occasionally. I get this weird Peter tingle all over my body, like if I'm just in my underwear. It legit feels like I have something on. That comes and goes, and Aquil has helped. Other than that it's the occasional headache, and the most unique of all is this sinus infection I've been getting. Last night it hurt to breathe, because my nasal passages were burning. That also comes and goes. My brother had some bad coughing, lack of appetite and fever for a few days. He got meds while he went to the hospital to be tested. He seems on the mend, though the cough is still lingering. He's a bit out of it, but has his energy. He's staying in his room mostly and wears a mask when he isn't. My parents seem to have the mildest symptoms. Achy, fatigued, but coughing lasted a few days for my mom and went away. Father doesn't really cough, though occasionally. No one's breathing is short. Overall everyone is just achy and tired. Chills too. I'd predict that we've had this for about a week now, and the peak may have been a few days ago with us not really realizing it. We just saw everyone get sick all at once. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos like this. Don't forget to leave your stories in the comments below.